We lived in Guadalajara for 8 weeks. Not a trip, not a stop. We actually lived here. And honestly, we didn't expect this. This might be one of the most livable cities in Mexico, but not in the way you think.
Buen día.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Welcome to Mexico. This is our first video of the year.
Yes, and we have been in Guadalajara about a month and a few weeks now. So we've been slow on the vlogging, but here we are.
We actually didn't plan to start in Guadalajara. A friend recommended it to us, and the flight from Las Vegas was cheap. So this is where our Mexico journey started. And also, it's very gay-friendly. A lot of venues, a lot of freedom. We felt comfortable here almost immediately.
Here we are, and we are late. We want to visit one of the most important museums in Guadalajara. It's called Museum Cabañas.
Yes.
And we're late, so we're running now.
So let's go show you what this Cabanas museum is all about.
We made it, we are inside, and it's very beautiful. And this museum was originally an hospital, which was built after an epidemic.
It was built in the 1800s as a hospital and shelter for people in need. Today, it's one of the most important cultural places in the city.
Hola. Okay, so we made it to the Museo Cabañas. What do you think so far?
It's really beautiful. It's like a classic architecture. It reminds me of the buildings we saw in Apulia.
Yeah. Or even like, I think the dome that's in the center reminds me of like Oxford in the UK or something.
And it also reminds me some Moorish architecture in Spain, like the Alhambra.
But I think the crown jewel here is the murals by Jose Orozco.
Orozco.
But I think you pronounce it with C-O. Really incredible,
Expressive,
vibrant.
And not so dark.
No.
I mean, they're quite dark, but still vibrant and alive.
Let's go walk around.
Okay, honestly, so far, I like more the building than the exhibitions. I think maybe also because we're not really taking the time to read everything in Spanish and try to understand them.
I agree.
Some of them are creepy.
Guadalajara doesn't try to impress you immediately. It grows on you slowly.
After more than a month in Mexico, I finally found the nachos with cheese and jalapenos.
Oh my god. You see this at the 7-Eleven, but I think I'm always like, no, you can't get that. But on this menu, it's not descriptive.
What do you think about Mexican cuisine?
Oh, what do I think about Mexican cuisine?
We are having tacos every day. There are so many types.
So many tacos, so many different types of meat. I think we had liver yesterday. I love the Mexican cuisine. I know it causes me like a little bit of heartburn, but I'm starting to get used to it. I love it. Yeah. You?
Yeah, I love it. It's a lot of meat, a lot of frijoles, a lot of beans. But yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
Food here is simple, but full of flavor. You end up eating tacos all the time without even planning it. But there are also other specialties you shouldn't miss, like torta ahogada or carne en su jugo.
Okay, estamos aquí en el Mercado de Libertad. Sí, es muy grande, es caótica.
It's a crazy building. You can find everything. On this floor, there are many restaurants. We are a little bit late.
Yeah. Every time we've come here, we've come late, like past 6 o'clock, and it's closed at 6. But you could just understand it's a massive place with a lot of good food options. Also, I remember like the last time we came here, the food is so cheap in comparison to if you go to like where we're staying, for example, in Colonia Americana. So come eat here. It'll change your life. Don't miss it. Don't come after 6.
And that's the thing with Guadalajara. It doesn't feel like one city because it isn't. It is many cities put together. Each area has a different vibe, and you keep discovering new sides of it.
Buen dia.
Buenos dias. Welcome to Colonia Americana, which is the neighborhood of Guadalajara where we have been living for 1 month and a half.
Yeah.
And we just passed Avenida de Vallarta, which is a really nice street, big street, especially because what happens every Sunday morning.
Yeah, because there's not so many parks like directly in the city. What the city does is they open up Avenida de la Vallarta on Sundays, but not just that street. They open up a lot of other streets, and it's pedestrianized, so no cars are on it. We like to go on our runs on a Sunday. It's just a really good vibe too. Everyone's like exercising. You feel like it's like a marathon every week.
Yeah, everyone is cycling, running, skating, and yeah, that street cross the center of Guadalajara, so it's a really nice atmosphere.
But yeah, this is a really cute neighborhood if you wanted to come stay in Guadalajara. It feels quite safe. And if you had caught us 3 days ago here, we experienced our first narco bloqueo, it's called. Basically, one of the big head honchos of the drug cartel was killed. And
I think the biggest head of Jalisco.
yeah, like a massive one. And in turn, like the cartel set up, basically lit a bunch of trucks and cars on fire. So this has been big in the news. Unfortunately, there was a lot of misinformation going around. So while we're not discounting it to anything small, it was quite a big thing, and it was quite scary here because we had to lock down. There weren't as many incidents at the airport, for example. There weren't people getting taken hostage or anything like that. And life is as normal again as can be in Guadalajara. There's a little bit of tensity in the air, but otherwise, business is back
I would
to
say
normal.
until yesterday, but like now, 4 days after, everything got back to normality.
What's really amazing and what I love about Mexican people is that they bounce back. They're resilient. Yeah.
So let's talk about safety. Here in Colonia Americana, it feels a little bit like living in a bubble. There are many creative spaces, many restaurants, many cafes, nice homes.
Yeah, it's kind of like the hipster area.
Yeah, it's very livable. Prices are a bit higher. And yeah, we're happy that we choose to stay here.
I mean, generally it feels safer than we expected. But it also, I guess, depends on the area. For example, there's this area which is called
Analco. And yeah, friends from the area didn't recommend to even walk there during the day. So yeah.
And that's where we walked when we went to the Lucha Libre, which is the next topic of this video.
We're at the Lucha Libre, which is the Mexican wrestling, I would say. We made it. It was so chaotic outside and it's almost empty inside, probably because it's still early.
Yeah, the proportions of the space that you have outside versus inside is crazy. It was so small outside, people everywhere. Now inside it's just like very empty. Then there's some boxing going on at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's boxing.
Opening act.
Yeah,
right?
opening act.
And this is Guadalajara at full energy, loud, cartoonish, and a bit crazy. People don't just watch, they become part of it.
Y ahorita hablemos un poquito en español.
Okay. Provo.
What have we learned?
There's a lot of cool slang here, which I like "K on the way."
On the way.
It's like kind of like what's waving, and way is like it's the word for bull.
Yeah, like the ox.
The ox, exactly. Que pedo way.
Yeah.
You don't say these types of things to your grandmother, or you say it to your friends. It's very informal. Not many people have said it to us yet. We say it more to them.
Yes, but we like it.
Yeah.
And yeah, as an Italian, I have to say I thought it would have been easier to speak and learn Spanish, but yeah, here is Mexican Spanish, so it has a different rhythm, different words, and yeah, I still can understand 80% of the conversation, but yeah, it's not as easy as I thought.
I also struggle with it, and I took quite a few years of Spanish in high school, but that was almost 20 years ago, so it's coming back, and there's little vocabulary words in my head, but when it comes to like verbal conjugations, and Spanish has so many of them, I struggle. But we have a really good Spanish teacher here in Guadalajara. If you need a recommendation, write a comment or DM us. Can you DM on YouTube?
I think so.
Okay, we'll send you that contact.
Yes, and this is the weather, the winter weather of Guadalajara. We are in the end of February, and yeah, it's very sunny and dry, not too hot. As you can see, there's a big work site here because Guadalajara is one of the cities hosting the football championship this year.
And little by little, you start to adopt. Not perfectly, but enough to feel part of it. And when you leave the city, it gets even more raw.
So it's 12 o'clock in the morning. We're on our tour of tequila, and we have already 2 tequila each. And this one, what's the name?
Oh my god, I always forget the name of it. Consentito. I'm sorry, we'll write it here, but I always forget the name of this one. But it comes in this nice, like, I guess clay jar. And they always put a rim of tagine around it, or some kind of salt rim. It's delicious.
And you had also a tequila with a dead scorpio.
The only reason I did it was because I used to be really afraid of scorpions, and I wanted to face it here. It actually really wasn't that scary because it was quite small, so...
Anyway, let's get more fucked up.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tequila City, Tequila Ciudad. It's so colorful and manicured here.
Yes, and it's also home to the oldest distillery, which is the Jose Cuervo distillery from the 1700s. Tequila's been around a long time.
It's very touristy, but yeah, it's also not very crowded today.
No,
Not at all. So.
no. It's a beautiful place to hang out for a few hours, drink as much as you want. We're actually opting for coffee for a change.
For a change.
Yeah.
So, is Guadalajara the most livable city in Mexico? I don't know. It's not perfect, but it's easy. Easy to move, easy to understand, easy to stay, especially in that Colonia Americana bubble. We came for a few weeks. We stayed for 2 months. And honestly, that says everything. And this is just a small part of it. If you want to explore deeper, we wrote everything on thefabric.com. Hasta luego. Ciao.